Good Yantif. A few months ago, Zohara and I were strolling through our neighborhood Kroger on the corner of Old Alabama and Haynes Bridge. I needed a few apples to get us through the week when I suddenly heard Zohara belting out a song from the shopping cart. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. It stopped me cold. I looked around and I thought, what if someone knows this song and doesn't like it? What if they confront us? My number one job is to keep Zohara safe. Do I tell her to stop singing? But I don't want her to stop singing. This is a song about pride for Israel and the Jewish people. Maybe I can just distract her and get her to pivot to something else. But no, I realize I need to tell her to stop. Then the shame hit. How could I, a rabbi, tell the daughter of two rabbis, hey girl, let's not sing that one in public? Especially when I know my 4-year-old would respond with, why? Why can't I sing that song? And there I was, wondering to myself, is this the moment, standing in the produce section at Kroger, that I am about to explain to my daughter that there are people in the world who hate Jews? Now, in a perfect world, I'd turn to Zohara with a big smile and join her in song. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Who knows, maybe we'd even start dancing. But we don't live in a perfect world. And these days, being Jewish in public sometimes feels a little scary. And frankly, I'm ashamed that sometimes I'm afraid. And when I reflect on my fear, I feel like the child who is scared of the monsters under their bed. They've seen them on television, in video games, or storybooks. They seem real. And later, the child grows up to understand that those monsters are fantasy. The child feels a little silly, maybe even embarrassed, that they were afraid of something that doesn't exist. And here we are in our community. We read about or see videos of violent acts of anti-Semitism in New York or Los Angeles. Thank God we haven't experienced that here. But unlike the child still struggling to discern fantasy from reality, we know our fear is valid. But we shouldn't be afraid or ashamed. We shouldn't be ashamed of our fear. And we owe it to ourselves, to our ancestors, and to the next generation of Jews to do the work to push through our shame and past our fears. Luckily, the perfect day to face our feelings happens to be today. Shame is a burden. It carries a heavy weight. But on Yom Kippur, we search within ourselves and with God to release our negative feelings. In the beginning of the atonement process, we acknowledge our shame, privately or publicly, and then we do the work. In Hebrew, the word for shame is busha, which comes from the root bet vav shin. However, if we flip that bet and the shin, we make shin vav bet, shuv, the very root of the word for teshuvah, the theme of our High Holy Day season. On Yom Kippur, we flip our mindset from busha to tshuva. From shame, we return to Jewish pride. I began to make that shift emotionally and spiritually when I remembered the following. The only thing worse than someone hating me is me hating myself. I woke up and I decided the only thing more awful than someone hating me for being a Jew is me hiding my Judaism out of fear. We tend to hide what we don't like, or dare I say, hate about ourselves. I don't want us to put our Jewish identity on that list. Two things can be true. We can say, I hid my Jewish identity because I felt unsafe. And I felt ashamed for hiding my Jewish identity. So if we have felt shame about minimizing the Jewish part of ourselves, let us find compassion for ourselves. Then we can let go of the shame busha and move into tshuva. We return. We don't let outside haters diminish our Jewish identity. Instead, we come up with a plan to build up our Jewish pride. Let's follow the example of a current student at Harvard, Sarah Silverman, who made headlines after her mezuzah was torn down from the doorpost of her dorm room. Following the controversial coverage in the Harvard Crimson, Sarah submitted an op-ed to the paper that concluded with the following. By no means did I expect to be embroiled in an anti-Semitic incident on my first day of classes. With the support of the Jewish community and my allied friends, I feel confident that I can heal from this and get back to my normal life. Rubbing the fingerprint ink off the mezuzah Wednesday morning, I placed it right back on my doorpost with the help of a rabbi, because I refuse to be afraid of expressing my religious beliefs, because I won't give in to anti-Semitism on this campus, and because I am proud to be a modern Orthodox Jew. Following this story, Jewish organizations on campus stepped in to help students put up dozens of mezuzot. The Jewish pride of our young people would not be diminished. Right here in Atlanta, there are amazing stories about individuals and organizations building up Jewish pride. On Rosh Hashanah, we heard from Rabbi Max about the Jewish middle school student who didn't back down after another child gave her a Nazi salute. There's the Israeli couple who runs Allie's Cookies near Emory. After facing ongoing harassment and incidents of vandalism, they continue to proudly display their Israeli flag. And right here at Temple Emanu-El, the light we try to bring to the community has only increased. In fact, we have extended our reach to find more allies. Our neighbors have and will continue to help us build and maintain a community where we feel safe to show our Jewish pride. But there is more work to be done. I have a plan, and I would like to invite you to join Rabbi Max, Rabbi Spike, and me in at least one of the following. First, let's educate ourselves. It is hard to be proud of our Jewish identity if we aren't quite sure what it means to us. If you have been coasting on that religious school or day school education from your preteen years, it is time to re-engage. For those who thrive in classroom learning, we have something for you on Sunday mornings, Tuesday evenings, and every Shabbat morning. Beyond the classroom, if you are listening to economic or sports podcasts on the regular, pick a podcast about Judaism to add to your rotation. If you listen to audiobooks or you read before bed, add a Jewish book to your list each month. If you love unwinding with television in the evening, add an Israeli show to your lineup. And if you don't know where to begin, be on the lookout for a resource list from me. Next, let's talk about Judaism in our homes. If we outsource all of our Judaism to the synagogue or a Jewish day school, we will have missed the point. Jewish pride is built in the synagogue or day school, and it's built when we bake challah on Friday afternoon and we let the aroma fill our home. Jewish pride is built when we see a mezuzah not only on our front door, but on every doorpost in our home. Jewish pride is built when we say the Shema in our bedroom as we lie down to sleep. And finally, Rabbi Max, Rabbi Spike, and many lay leaders have spearheaded an initiative to combat anti-Semitism and increase our Jewish pride by building partnerships with other faith and ethnic communities. Our neighbors at the Istanbul Cultural Center, St. Luke's Presbyterian, Dunwoody Methodist, Kingswood Methodist Church, the Church of Latter-day Saints, All Saints Catholic Church, Dunwoody Baptist, and Atlanta's Asian American Pacific Islanders group. They are all in partnership with us. Come help us build bridges between friends. But this initiative, it only works when both parties show up. Now, the folks who don't have kids in the house, they've been showing up in pretty good numbers. But parents, I'm going to call you in for a minute. Joining your TE community as we build bridges, it may mean that one parent takes the parenting load for the night and the other joins us for an important program. Set this positive example for your children. We need more of you. So after Yom Kippur, please email Rabbi Spike with the words, "combating anti-Semitism," and he will get you connected. Friends, now is the time. Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, v'lo ata ven chorin libatel mimena. We are not obligated to finish the work, but neither are we free to desist from it. Building up Jewish pride for our children, for ourselves, and for the entire Jewish world is more important now than ever before in our lifetime. I want to take you back to the produce section at the Kroger on Old Alabama. It turns out that was not the moment I had to explain to my 4-year-old that there are people in the world who hate Jews. Instead, Zohara switched from singing Am Yisrael Chai to Beyonce's All the Single Ladies. And the moment passed. But there will come a day when she will confront the oldest hate in the world. And I want her to be prepared for it. We all need to be prepared for it. We all need to build up our Jewish identities so that they are too strong to be shamed. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May this be God's will, and Am Yisrael Chai.